Hey friends, and welcome to this week's video on how to balance work and life when you're an entrepreneur, because let's face it, it's not that easy to do it. So my name is Sarah May Ives and I have a successful advertising business, plus I'm super duper passionate about teaching other women how to start their own advertising businesses as well, because it is one of the most valued, creative, fun, collaborative skills that you can do currently in the online space, and it pays really well while you're helping people to make their businesses better and make their businesses succeed. So if you'd like to learn more about how I started my own advertising business, I would encourage you to download my free guide, which I'll link in the description below. And if you like what I'm talking about and you like what you're hearing, also consider subscribing to my channel and pressing that notifications bell so you can see when we come out with new videos. Let's get down to business. Let's talk about how you can strike a better work-life balance when you're an entrepreneur, and especially when you're an entrepreneur as a mom or as someone that is caring for other people. My business journey starts way back in 2011, really actually 2010, when I started planting the seeds of starting my own business. And at that time, I desperately wanted to have my own business so I could get freedom from my 9-to-5 job, which did not leave me much time to spend with my son. So I became incredibly inspired to start my own business, work from home, set my own hours, make great money helping other people. It didn't exactly work out like that. In fact, what happened is I had a business that wasn't very profitable, and I really tried at that business for 5+ years, and I was still having to work my job. So I was really burning the candle at both ends. So in 2016, when I closed my business, I went back to the office and I said to people, I would rather work 40 hours a week for someone else than 80 hours a week for myself. Because the reality was I became so burnt out, so overworked, and so resentful, quite frankly, of all the work that I was doing that I wasn't enjoying my life at all. And this is a common theme in entrepreneurship, that we can really overwork ourselves and we can start to not enjoy life because we're always thinking about business. And the hard part of being an entrepreneur is that when I'm working, I'll sometimes find that I'm thinking of my children and thinking, oh, I just badly want to spend time with them. I want to take them to the park, do something fun, just talk with them. And then the irony is when I'm at the park, spending time with them, talking to them, I can't get my brain out of business things. So today I'm going to talk to you about the key strategies that I've used to strike more balance and enjoyment, quite frankly, as an entrepreneur. Number one, you want to identify where you're spending your time. You want to look at your schedule and understand when are your productive times, when are you required to work, and then when can you shut things off. Because by shutting things off, that's going to allow us the freedom, the creativity, and the presence that we want to extend to our families. I've identified that I work between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. every day. Obviously, I'm able to have my kids at school during that time and be productive during that time. I also try to take off some time at noon hour to have my lunch, to peacefully eat, and maybe go for a walk. Now, when it comes to after hours, so when the kids come home, I want to be present. Now, by the way, I say this to you as a student, I'm far from perfect, but I have gleaned some great tips along the way. So after the kids come home from school, I typically like to turn my phone onto airplane mode. And airplane mode lets me be really present with my kids so I can do their homework, get supper made, spend some time playing with them, and get them off to bed actually. What I typically like to do is after that time, I will check in, make sure there's no urgent things that I need to take care of, and then I'll go to bed. So that's the real key to not working all the time while you're with your children, because there's nothing worse than feeling like, okay, I'm at the park, but I'm not even spending any time being present on my kids. I'm just looking at my phone, I'm dealing with business. And trust me, I've been there, and there's still those hectic days where I can't avoid it, but overall it doesn't feel good to me, and it leads to a feeling of your brain always being turned on. Now, another key tip is to tell your clients this. So when we onboard new clients, I have a briefing document that we send to the client so that the client understands when I work, so that when I turn my phone on airplane mode and they send me an urgent email and I don't respond until later, they're not going to panic and they understand when I'm available and when I'm not available. So that's another really great tip to set the boundary with clients so that they can help you to respect those times when you're not working as well. And it's been a really instrumental tip to working with clients as well. Number one, making sure that you've got your schedule mapped out for your productive times and your times when you're on like family mode where you're turning the phone on airplane. Number two, making sure that your team and your clients are aware of your schedule as well so that they can help to support you. Because oftentimes our team and our clients, they want people that are happy and healthy and living the life that they want to live. I don't want people working for me that are super stressed and always running around and not enjoying their life, because I know they're not going to be able to meet their full potential of productivity if they're not in that happy place. Another tip for productivity at home and work-life balance is making sure that you're taking care of yourself. So this can mean devoting a time every single day where you get out of the house and go and do a walk or go and do an exercise like running. You want to do something that clears your brain, because especially when we're entrepreneurs, we can be thinking business all the time, and this leads to a frenetic energy that will ultimately not allow us to meet our full potential. Likewise, you don't want to skip meals. I know this sounds crazy talking about not skipping meals in an entrepreneurial video, but when we're working as an entrepreneur, if you're anything like me, you're so passionate and so obsessed with the things that you're doing that I can literally have the whole day go by and I won't even think of eating. And then of course, I'll go down to the kitchen at 3 p.m. and I'll like eat a ton of unhealthy food on those days that I basically starve myself without meaning to starve myself. So that's going to be very helpful as well. And especially when you're working with other people and you're showing up for other people, you want to make sure that you're well nourished, because if you're going on, 8 hours of not eating and then you have a client meeting, you're not going to be in a great headspace. You're going to be hangry. This is something that you want to avoid as well, because again, you want to show up as your full self, your full potential. Now, another important tool for work-life balance can be using a productivity tool like Asana or like Trello. These are online apps or tools that you can access on your computer and also on your phone that is really a long to-do list. And it's more complex than a to-do list as well. You can use it as a simple to-do list, but you can also create what are called projects and then have subtasks within each project. So I highly recommend using a tool like this, because if you are always feeling like you're forgetting something, it's not a nice feeling to have, and you won't feel like you're necessarily being productive or enjoying your off time because you're always thinking about, wait, what did I forget? So I really love to use those productivity tools. My favorite is Asana. It's spelled asana.com. It's a free program that you can go and open an account and start to use, and that will make you not just able to enjoy life more when you're not working, but then when you're working, you'll also get more done, which is going to help to lead you to a better work-life balance. Now, one of the most important things you can do as an entrepreneur is work on your mindset and quieting down that voice, because as an entrepreneur, our voices are, first of all, this is a human thing. We always have that voice inside our head that's running, worrying, thinking, overthinking. That's a part of being human. I've also noticed that as an entrepreneur, this voice can even get a little bit worse. It can get a little more hectic, frenetic, and you want to be taking time every single day to slow down your brain and to tap into the inner seat of wisdom that we all have, we were all born with. So the best tool to do this is, quite truthfully, meditation. So meditating at least 10 to 20 minutes per day. Another wonderful tool for slowing down the frantic pace of our brains can also be journaling. So I love journaling as well. And this is a really wonderful quiet time and activity that you can partake in to really slow down your mindset. And it's going to bring you an increased rate of joy and pleasure and that feeling that you're actually living. Because when we really get stuck in that frenetic energy of the entrepreneurial world, when we're feeling like we've never caught up, we've always got more work to do, life is not enjoyable in that place. Slowing down your brain is really going to help you to bring back a sense of certainty and satisfaction to your life, and also just knowing. One of the most, I would say, satisfactory outcomes of meditating and slowing slowing your brain down is you ask people for less advice. Because when we actually slow ourselves down and take part in activities like meditating, we begin to really know ourselves. And a lot of time, stumbling upon the right answer in a situation is as simple as taking a deep breath and meditating on, what do I want to do in this situation? So you will begin looking less outwards for validation, and you will be looking more inwards. And that's such an incredible feeling as a human being to be experiencing. The last tip that I'm going to share with you is just taking time off. I know that this sounds crazy, and trust me, for the people that know me, they know that I've gone through major phases of being close to a workaholic, but our creativity is stifled when we're working too much. And if we can make a conscious effort to take a day or a weekend off, it is going to feed our creativity. How many of you watching this very video have taken a vacation and you were worried about work, but then this is what happens. You go on a vacation, you detach from all the immediate craziness of being an entrepreneur, and in the vacation, you start thinking of all kinds of new and interesting ideas. Why? Because we've given our creativity a chance to blossom by giving our brains a rest. So I hope that you will take this video and use the tips so that you can create more work-life balance in your life. I would love to hear your comments, questions, so please leave them in the video below. And I can't wait to see you next week, where we're going to chat more about life as an entrepreneur, ads management, all kinds of different topics. So have a wonderful day, and talk to you soon.